recently I did a story about Florida Sheriff Mike Chitwood, who does not like Nazis, which makes him good, at least as far as the sheriff is concerned. So now Chitwood said that, look, I'd gotten a lot of threats for speaking out against Nazis. And, well, that makes sense because Nazis generally don't happen to be the nicest people around. So now he said that he had received a lot of threats, and now it turns out that one of the people who had made those threats has been arrested. Interesting. So this is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So let's get to the details on that. According to the Daytona Beach News Journal, Richard Golden, a 38-year-old 4chan clown, this is according to Chitwood, made some threats. So he was charged with second-degree felony written threats to kill or injure County Sheriff, this is Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood. Chitwood, who was the target of Golden's threats, said that he was, get this, Golden was unemployed, living in a back bedroom at his mother's house. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So now Golden had made some threats in a 4chan chat room after Chitwood spoke out against the Goyim Defense League. This is a very violent, gross neo-Nazi group for going around and spreading anti-Semitic hate literature about the Jewish community in Volusia County. So, look, Chitwood's like, I'm going to protect the Jewish community here in Volusia County. Nazis are not welcome. Come at me, bro. Like, you want to try? Do it. Do it. So now this guy says, okay, I'm gonna talk about doing it. I'm not actually gonna do it, just because, you know, I'm unemployed and living in the back of my mom's house. Again, hilarious, right? Total loser. But here's what he said, quote, just shoot Chitwood in the head and he stops being a problem. They have to find a new guy to be the problem, but shooting Chitwood in the head solves an immediate problem permanently. Just shoot him in the head and murder him. Well, I mean, like, there's no code there. All right. Not only is this guy a complete and utter loser, but he's also incredibly dumb, which, again, tracks because that's usually how Nazis are. Not very smart. And generally, the people who tend to say that they are the master race and are better than everyone else usually tend to not be, you know, because there is no such thing, but they tend to be even more just absolutely ridiculous. Not good prime examples of the white race, as they claim to be. Okay, but anyway, now, according to the article here, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, along with other government agencies, launched an investigation after they were notified of the threats and discovered that this Golden guy is anti-government, anti-law enforcement, and like every active shooter that we come across, is a marginalized member of society who spent hours and hours and hours in these extremist chat groups. And in this press conference, he showed a picture. Here's this clown sitting in his bedroom who was indoctrinated by this bullcrap. And I think the best way to solve the problem is, thinks the best way to solve the problem is to put a bullet in my head. Look, man, being a complete and total loser aside, there is an issue with these extremists, neo-Nazi groups that do recruit. So now they will take people who, yes, are not doing well. They'll take people and they'll fill their head full of complete and utter crap, BS, again, to make them think that their problems are the result of other people. In this case, obviously, there's a lot of people who think that, it's the Jews. No, that's you. But look, not just you, by the way. there are real issues that are affecting young people all over the country, and a lot of it does stem from capitalism, and ironically, uh, the right wing, which tends to create a lot of economic issues through some of their policies or through a lot of their policy. And so let's be honest about that. Not to like give this guy any sort of like out or anything like that, because what he has been threatening, that's not cool. Don't threaten to go after people because you disagree with them about Nazis. No, Nazis bad. And this guy's saying, no, no, no. You understand? They're good. No, 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 they're bad. They're bad. There's no debate here. Nazis bad. Don't threaten people because they don't like Nazis. And the only people who would do so is people who are obviously Nazis. But so again, look, overall, moral of the story is here, there is a massive amount of people that are being indoctrinated online by the far right, and they're targeting specific kinds of people. And maybe we ought to actually do something about this to prevent said recruitment. You know, I think you should really attack the problem at its source, because Nazi ideology only becomes attractive to people when there are certain economic conditions. And when there are people that are demagogues that will go out and then start assigning blame for these economic conditions to marginalized people. And so we ought to do something about those conditions to prevent people from being attracted to Nazism. Because generally when a country is doing pretty well, when a populace is doing well, when people have good wages, when people have good jobs and benefits and things like that, well, Nazism tends to not do very well. And so we ought to focus on making our society better to prevent people like this from being interested in that sort of horrible ideology in the first place. And I think that's one of the most effective ways of crushing that ideology. For the people who already believe in it, for the people that are already there, well, I have, no sympathy for them whatsoever, because at the end of the day, if you have that ideology, if you believe that ideology, well, then you're ultimately, at that point in time, a pretty terrible person.